Hello everyone. I'm Cinna, a Satyr Fawn VTuber. I'm joined here with my players that you may remember from the Lobotomy Corporation TTRPG, Merru Online, Mix Time, Prior Year, and Kai Calypso. Where we had left off last time when the fifth trumpet sounded, our four department heads were able to get the situation under control, ensure that all the abnormalities that had breached were either trapped in their containment units once again or were suppressed as to not be an issue. And they all managed to take down Ange, the AI assistant for the facility. Instead of killing her, though, they did all choose to spare her and now have her as an ally on their side. However, despite this, there is the fact that all communication has been lost with the main facility and with the other branches of L Corp. It's unknown currently what's going on outside of the branch, given that there's no way to communicate with their. And the entrance, due to Ange activating the procedure that would sink the facility into the ground, the entrance was basically covered under rubble, which has only just been excavated. And where we begin now is Ange is holding what would be our very last meeting of the department heads. A meeting that all of them have been very used to having, except for once, tensions might not be as high during this meeting, at least on Ange's end. As for the other four, though, that is a question up to them. But we'll begin with the head of the control team, Merru, if he'd like to introduce himself and what he is up to at this meeting.
So Merru, like said, is the control team department head. And he was late today. So he had showed up for this meeting about 8 minutes late, which is, I don't know if that's ever actually happened before. He's usually pretty punctual. But when he had arrived to the meeting room, he had actually paused for a moment outside of the door, so he could rebutton the collar to his magic bullet ego gear. And to fix up his face coverings, so they weren't any kind of askew, just making sure he's all looking nice enough. So when he walked into the room, he looked mostly put together, and his facial expression was unreadable. And he had silently just made his way across the room to his seat beside Kai, very thankful that there's no longer assigned seating, and just kind of stayed quiet in hopes that his tardiness could be ignored.
All right. And we'll go over to our information department head, Miix, who's on the other side of the room from Merru.
Yeah, Miix is sat down, kind of got like a vacant gaze, not really looking at anything specifically. They are notably looking a little different from when we last saw them. Specifically, their hair has changed drastically from a sort of purple with some blue streaks to a complete pitch black with a few streaks of white. And they have these sort of glacial scales on their cheek. And right now they're just sat, hands together, kind of just wringing them a little bit, just in silence, not really saying anything.
And next is the training team department head, Prior.
It's odd to see Prior not buried under a mountain of paperwork. There's still paperwork surrounding him on the desk, but it's not mountainous. It's not busy work. Prior is actually visible from the crown of thorns that don't seem to dig into his skin like they did before. His blue hair and amber eyes looking in one direction, while the now changed recent outcropping of multicolored eyes growing down the left side of his face continues to move and blink at different papers and different managers, one permanently locked on Ange. He's no less tired, but he seems perhaps a little less frantic. His hands move with intent rather than furious dedication. And for once, the training team manager looks like he is out of fires to put out.
And lastly is the safety team department head, Kai.
Kai is sat between Pryor and Merru. He is still the same dirty blonde with brown cat-like eyes and a slightly shorter stature than Pryor, but significantly taller than Merru. He has a few more scars on his face than when we last saw him, as Big Bad Wolf used him as a chew toy pretty aggressively. And at the moment, he is hunched over doodling on some notebook paper to try and distracting himself from the glare he can feel the glare he can feel Merru giving Pryor through his bandages somehow, because it's very distracting and the tension is palpable.
All right. The screen has already been flickered on. I imagine the rest of you, excepting Merru, were here either before or as Ange made her appearance. She doesn't say anything about Merru being late, but you can kind of see there's that moment where her eyes open, there's that flicker of gold, and kind of the look that she gives him, almost a disapproving one. But besides that, she looks down at all of you, her eyes once again closed, and says, well, department heads, it seems that our time to say farewell, for now at least, is soon.
Yes, it's I don't have many more forms left to sign. You've all signed off on your exit strategy documentation, yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, Ange, I suppose the agenda comes to you for the details of our final meeting.
Yes. I know that you have all designated someone to be in charge in your absence. I will do my best to continue overseeing this place. Ever since the fifth trumpet sounded, we have had an astounding number, regarding a lack of casualties that we are used to, with 0 thus far. I shall do my best, given that we can't really be bringing in any new resources, to keep that number down at the 0 it is currently at. I do regret to inform you all, as you all are probably aware, that the amount of supplies we have here can probably only last us a year at most. I do not need any supplies to sustain myself, but I'm sure you all know that your frail human bodies and those of your clerks and agents will need things.
Yes. That actually brings me. And thank you, Ange, by the way, for your hard work and dedication. I'm aware that it is, of course, your position, yet we, the managers, are, I'm sure I speak for everyone, deeply appreciative of your assistance in the last while. But for the rest of us, we are going to need to, on top of our primary objective, be considered about finding a supply line back to the facility. Hopefully, one that does not reveal our location.
Yes, I was going to mention that to all of you too. Discretion will be crucial. I have lost contact with her completely. The bigger hole, the me at the main facility, I have lost contact with the rest of them. I do not know how the other facilities are faring. I fear that they may have been shut down, if not collapsed entirely. I cannot tell you anything of the outside world, nor what is there. And she honestly looks bothered. Usually it's hard to tell how Ange is feeling, even as long as most of you have known her for, Kai knowing her the least amount of time. There's a crack. I mean, there's been more cracks in that calm, cold facade of hers ever since you all bested her in battle. But there is a crack in the ice now where it's clear that this lack of knowledge she has is bothering her. She has no clue of the outside world. She has no idea what you all might face. And she does not like that fact.
We have to work under the assumption that the sixth trumpet has sounded, and we were simply not aware of it. That's the only thing that would make sense to me.
If that is the case, then there may be abnormalities out in the world that you all face. It won't be so simple as containing them in a unit.
No, it will not, especially without the Quibblefit technology. Well, then, thankfully, 3 of us, no offense, Miix, are at least familiar of what the back streets and the district was like circa a few years ago. As much as things change out there, you can be assured, Ange, that we have experience surviving in such conditions.
Let's hope that those skills are still sharp.
Pryor goes back to making some notes, and with a gesture he says, I open the floor to any other managers with concerns to raise to our head of facility, Ange.
In terms of supplies, I know that you were talking about having about a year's worth left. So I am sure that we will try to pack light because the lives within this facility obviously mean a lot to all of us. We may have to pack for the 4 of us for a couple of weeks. I don't know how conditions will be out there. Do you think that that's too much of a strain on resources?
She hesitates and then shakes her head once and says, it is a risk, but the reward will be greater in allowing you all to take what you need upon leaving, especially if you can bring back more.
Of course. Thank you so much, Ange.
I have a question.
Yes.
And speaking of supplies, I highly doubt we'll be able to get the supplies that this place needs from the back streets. How we'd have to get it from a nest, right? That's the only logical thought, is that we'd have to get it from the nest. But that would require us to get to a nest. I, for one, have never been able to get to a nest. So I guess you could say I have a bit of concern about that. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts on that, because I certainly don't.
That is a very good point. I do not know much about the back streets. And you can tell it's taking all in her power to admit the fact that she knows less about something than Merru does.
And just like, actually, I think I'm gonna sink the facility again.
Yeah, actually. I know that this facility is located in Elcorp's Nest, albeit on the outskirts of Elcorp's Nest. So you should all be beginning in a nest. That said, and her gaze slightly opens a bit, and her eyes are fixed on Miix this time. I believe there is one among you who is quite adept when it comes to hacking into systems. And her eyes shut, and she says, between me and all that I can do, and between what skills they possess, we should be able to forge or manipulate anything that's needed. That said, and once more those eyes open, and this time it rakes over all of you, it will be up to the four of you to not get yourselves found out or kicked from the nests.
Noted.
I understand that might be a tall ask.
It's a tall ask to go out there in the first place, but it's what we gotta do. So,
Unfortunately.
I have faith in our capabilities to move discreetly and quietly. I admit the world is far more unkind outside of Lobotomy Corporation. And that's a terrifyingly chilling thing to admit after so long.
That it is. From the little I have seen of each of your pasts. She waits as if to see if any of you have any other concerns that you have to raise or questions for her before she continues.
Friar looks left and looks right, then looks back and says, I'm going to assume that we'll have to limit our contact with you in the facility due to concerns about being traced. Is there a way that we'll be able to contact you while we're out there, or should we be going radio silent?
That is correct. I think it best to not contact me or the facility, except in emergencies. I do admit I wish to see more of that world outside. And it also does help to have that contact, just so I don't know that you all haven't up and abandoned the facility. Even if I suppose if you wanted to, there'd be no stopping you once you leave my reach. Only contact me in an emergency. And be aware that the head's eyes are everywhere.
Despite himself, Prior does stifle a laugh at Ange, trying really hard not to be like, please don't leave me.
Actually!
He stifles himself as well as he can, and when he composes himself after a moment, he says, We have no plans of abandoning you, our mission, or this facility. And we have no intentions of dying either. We'll do our best to reach out to you only in an emergency or when we have something critical to report.
That is most appreciated, Manager Pryor.
Of course, Facility Manager Ange. I don't think I have anything left to bring up, as much as I really wish I did. I'm going to miss these meetings in a strange way.
That makes one of us.
She cracks a smile at that, actually. It's the briefest of smiles, and it's not that usual polite smile she wears when you're pretty sure she's wanting to throttle you. And she admits, as am I, though I must say, I did not expect any of you to miss these.
I've always had nostalgia for things I really shouldn't. If no one else has anything to say, I believe we can call this meeting to adjournment.
She looks around, sees if there's anything else anyone has to interject with, and then the screen begins to flicker, and she'll say, I can be found where I always am. If anything is needed from me before you all leave, do call upon me. I believe that is all, managers. And with
Thank
that,
you, Ange.
she just nods at the thanks and flickers out of existence.
Oh. It feels strange not holding my breath for the entirety of a meeting.
We're still being watched. It's just a little bit less, threatening. But it'll be threatening again soon. So I guess
All
this
of
is
Pryor's
kinda
eyes. All of Pryor's eyes roll to look at Kai at the same time, and he goes, "Yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna feel a lot of eyes on me."
Yeah. It's been a little while though since everyone's seen you, You didn't have so many eyes on your face before, maybe they won't recognize you.
Well, I don't think I'd be so quickly forgotten.
It's
But-
true, you're very hot.
We're far enough away from my district that the hope is maybe rumors of me have cooled. How about you, Manager Miix?
Oh. Well, he probably won't go to where I'm from.
Well, we've all got homes to avoid, which, it's a big city. I'm sure we'll find plenty of things everywhere else.
Right. Well, I have some things to do. If you'll excuse me. And Miix will step out.
Hey, Miix,
What?
you doing all right?
All things considered, I'm doing better than I thought I would, but
Pryor just gives a thumbs up.
yeah.
Kai's gonna give Miix a little full hand wave to say bye-bye.
Merru is fixing them with the most intense stare that you can't see. It doesn't say anything.
May nod at everyone and then just step out uncharacteristically quiet.
Well, I suppose we all look a little different following that escapade. You can definitely see through that thing, right, Manager Merru?
Of course I can. Why would I wear something that I can't see out of? Think I'm an idiot?
I just figured you might want to take a nap during the meeting.
No. Obviously not. If I wanted to take a nap during the meeting, I could do that without the face mask. I would have done it. I'm not that scared of Miss Ange.
Well,
Why don't we all go? Why don't we all have things to do? I don't know if bickering is all that conducive to the fact that we need to pack, we need to get out of here, we need to say goodbye to our people. Prior, I know you have a lot of those.
right, actually, there are a lot of people I need to go say goodbye to, so thank you. Always a pleasure to... It's been a pleasure being a manager alongside you all. See you later. Prior will take his leave, gathering his paperwork.
And that leaves just Kai and Merru in the meeting room.
I think Kai's gonna turn to Merru and just say, like, I understand that he gets on your nerves a little bit, but I do appreciate that didn't escalate as much as it could have. I am going to miss hanging out with you in the mornings, even though I assume we'll be hanging out with each other a lot more in the future. But it won't be quite as lax. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
Merru will be silent at first, and then he'll nod and say, "You might be the only one. Well, for the most part, I can say the same to you. If you'll excuse me." And he will make his leave.
All right. So we'll begin with Kai, because I know you're on more of a time limit. Is there anyone that Kai is seeking out, wants to see before he leaves? Anything that he's packing or would like to do?
Specifics in terms of people that I want to say goodbye to. I mean, of course, I want to, give a quick little, adios to the clerks, let them know that they should keep the rumor alive that me and Pryor are sleeping together, and that I will miss all of them very much. They made this place bearable. And then I have to go say bye to Happy Teddy Bear. And I am also a drug addict, so I am going to pack my little secret stash of ankefillin that I have in my bedroom.
All right. So let me bring you to Happy Teddy Bear's unit.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you can all see.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've changed the permissions so you can now see what the unit looks like. Alright, there you are. And
So little.
here is Happy Teddy Bear. Oh, well, that's big. Okay, there we go. All right. Happy Teddy Bear is silent when you enter the unit. It appears how you always remember it. You're not sure if there's been more stuffing that's been falling out of Happy Teddy Bear since you've last seen it. It's kind of hard to tell. But the large worn out teddy bear is on the other side of the unit, as always. You can see the familiar faded green bow tie tied around the bear's neck. And you don't take any damage when you enter. You know passively there's some damage it deals just by being in its presence. But you're both used to that damage, and you're fairly good at resisting it yourself, given your familiarity with this abnormality. What would you like to do? It is silent in the corner over there, waiting for you to approach.
Well, I'm gonna approach. It's been quite a few days since the last time I saw Happy Teddy Bear. I've missed him dearly, as he is a friend of mine that reminds me of a certain teddy bear I have back in my room. He knows as such, and I'm really gonna miss him. And I'm gonna tell him that I have picked out someone that's going to watch over you just as much as I have. You deserve to have people that love you, and just because I'm gone doesn't mean that you've been forgotten. And I would like to give him a hug, even though in theory he could choke me to death over that. But it's been a few days, so hopefully I'm good.
Let me roll Happy Teddy Bear's mental state. Alright. Happy Teddy Bear grabs you a little tighter than you're used to. And you do take a point of willpower damage. I don't know if Kai has ever experienced the being... I'm sure Kai has seen what has happened to the agents who entered that unit twice in a row without, either on accident or because they couldn't resist the urge to stay out of there. Thankfully, Happy Teddy Bear's not doing that to you, but at first you do feel him grab you a bit tighter, as if afraid to let go. But he does resist the urge to try to snap your neck.
And I think that's very sweet, and that's proof that he's a wonderful, good friend, and he has never done anything wrong.
He would agree. He would agree with that.
I also squeeze him back a little extra tighter. I tell him that I'm gonna miss him, but that I'll see him again, and that I know that he's going to be well taken care of. And when Happy Teddy Bear is ready, I'm going to let go and step back a little bit.
He's never ready, but
yeah.
he will loosen his grip a little.
Yeah.
When he can tell you're stepping back. You hear, you're not quite sure if it's Happy Teddy Bear's voice, or if it's sort of the lingering fear of just abandonment, or if it's something in your own mind. But as you're stepping back, you can kind of hear the don't leave me, sort of like emanating in your head.
I'm probably gonna tear up a little bit. Because I'm not leaving forever, and I want Happy Teddy Bear to know that. But I don't have like a proper way of communicating that other than just telling him that. After a few more minutes of like the whole, I love you, I'm gonna be back, people will take care of you, like you're not alone, you're very loved. I'm probably gonna step out of the unit and wave bye to him one more time from outside of the little glass peek-in door thing.
Happy Teddy Bear rarely moves aside to grab those he does not want to leave. But as you wave, you do see, you swear for an instant, it almost looked like the arm moves a bit. Not quite in a wave, but you swear you see one of the arms just kind of lift up like a puppet being pulled by strings.
Thank you. I like that a lot.
I'm glad. All right. Is there anyone else Kai would like to visit or check in on?
No one in particular. He'll probably say a goodbye to everyone, just like everyone else does when all is said and done, like after he packs up. But there's not any other abnormalities that he's going to make his way to, or any people that he's going to make his way to in particular to say a special goodbye.
All right. In that case, I guess then I'll go down the list of departments then. Merru, is there anyone that Merru is wanting to say goodbye to? Is there any packing that Merru is doing? What is Merru up to in this final day leading up to leaving the branch of Elcorp you've all been working in for the past while.
Let's see. Merru, well, I would say, honestly, firstly, Merru, that man was in the kitchen. He went to that kitchen. Wherever the kitchen of the facility is, he was there. Because he knows a thing or two about cooking. Not like gourmet cooking, but cooking that can make it, where you can make the food last, and he knows that we're gonna need that. So that's where he probably was at first. Kind of just getting his stuff together, making sure he's got some, packing non-perishables. And he will make it for everyone. Everyone's gonna get their like trail mix or whatever. Because he's not actually like that mean. And he also wouldn't just want everyone like starving. If that can be avoided. So that's where he had started out, probably just kind of doing his own thing. Also because cooking does like relax him a bit. Because he's had a little bit on his mind about, what's to come. Because he really actually doesn't want to be going on this whole trip. He would much rather stay in this facility and just keep doing things as normal. He's quite scared to be going back out onto, the outside world. I would say, the first place he probably would stop would be to see his team captain, Kit. So he probably would, head to his office, and over the intercom, call out for Kit to come to his office, which is now finally cleaned. He spent like however long we've had in between the 5th trumpet and today, he has spent that cleaning. But it's finally clean.
Yes, for those who don't know, Merru's office got absolutely destroyed by a fight between Little Helper and Rudolta, who both breached and made it a complete mess.
Yeah, so it's all clean. The blood and guts cleaned up. The chair is intact. It still has duct tape over it. There might be like a leg of like a table might also have duct tape. He loves duct tape. It fixes everything. And so he calls Kit to his office and is kind of just waiting for them to arrive.
All right. It doesn't take long for Kit to get there. And your control team captain enters the room. I don't really have a token for Kit, but Kit is there. And Kit would see you and say, just to check, Kit addresses Merru, I believe, as Mr. Merru, right? Or Manager Merru? Or does Kit just use...
Honestly, at first it was probably like Mr. Merru or whatever, but has lately just been calling him Merru.
Aw, I love that. I figured that was the case at this point with how close you've gotten. So your team captain enters and says, Merru, how are you feeling?
He initially goes to be like, oh, I'm, fine. But then he kind of like pauses and he goes, I mean, could be better, I suppose, but we just finished up the meeting. I just wanted to call you in just to double check that you're all set with everything. But there's nothing you need from me because we're set to leave quite soon.
Kit nods and says, I think I've got things under control here. It's definitely gonna be weird not having you around. But I think we'll be all right. I'll do my best in your absence, at least, to keep things under control. It's clear from Kit's expression that Kit is nervous, and funnily enough, it looks like Kit is less nervous to, be in control of things while you're gone, and is more nervous about Merru being out there back in the world.
Yeah, no, Merru doesn't realize that. Merru doesn't have high enough insight to realize that. I know that for a fact. He totally thinks they're just nervous about being the acting like department head in his absence, and so he's like, oh, don't worry. I have full faith in you. You'll be more than fine, I'm sure. You have a good standing with the other agents. I've already filled you in on everything you need to know. You know which abnormalities to send people to, which ones, more importantly, to not send them to. And I've made sure you've gotten into contact with the other departments' captains, in case anything happens. So I wouldn't worry. You'll be fine. Things are going to be much. The hope is that things here will be much less hectic than they have been recently. So you should be fine. I actually made something in the event that you need. Because I know I can tell you this. Eventually, if things go wrong out there, you may need to start rationing a little bit more with supplies, food, all of that. I can't tell the other agents this because I don't want them to panic, as one probably would. I can tell you this because I trust you. I've put together a couple recipes of things that it utilizes what we have. I've taken stock of a lot of the ingredients, the foods that we have here right now. If you need, you can use this. So, and then he hands them a little basically it's like a clipboard that has a bunch of papers, and the handwriting is still bad, but like it was really clear that he like spent a lot of time like trying to make it legible, because he knows he's heard people saying that he has bad handwriting. Listen, he's trying, because he's not going to be around to be like, actually that's a B, not a Q. So he hands this clipboard to Kit, and says you can do what you want with it, but figured it'd be good to have just in case.
Kit nods, takes the clipboard. It's clear that Kit is struggling to read what it says, but given how close Merru and Kit are, given that Kit is probably used to Merru's poor handwriting, and given that Merru did make an attempt to be neater than usual, I would say Kit's able to read like 80% of it and fill in the gaps.
Perfect. That's all we need.
Yeah, so, and Kit doesn't comment on the handwriting at all, but Kit just says, thanks, Merru. This will be a great help. I'll be sure not to say anything. I don't want to cause a panic, but... And then Kit will pause and then say, because while Kit is worried about overstepping, Kit's also for some time known Merru and probably overstepped more than most people could and get away with it. Kit will say, you know, Merru, I'm worried for how you will be out there.
How I'll be? I'll be fine. What?
No, just, you better come back to us. I'll be waiting.
Of course I'll come back. Think I want to be out there? Of course I'm going to be coming back. I'm only going out there to do what I have to do, then I'll come back. That's what we're going to do. So, the more time you spend worrying about me, there's something you can do about that. It'll stress you out. I'll be fine. I've had more than my fair share of years out in the world, and I'm here, so it'll be fine. Don't worry.
Alright. I'm trusting you, Merru. I've put my trust in you for a long time as our department head.
That you have, and you'll have the opportunity to keep doing so for a long time, I'm sure. So it'll all be fine. Don't worry about it. There's not much more I really had to say, unless you had any other things you wanted to say. I don't need to keep you from your work. I just wanted to make sure we checked in.
Kit nods and smiles at that and says, I'm glad we did. I doubt you can stay in touch often while you're out there, but you know, if there is anything you need, ever, or when you're able to come back. And Kit will hesitate, and you can tell there's that look on Kit's face that, Meru's had a lot of interviews with Kit.
Yeah.
Merru knows when Kit's about to ask a question that Merru really doesn't want to answer.
Mm-hmm.
And Kit will say, the only thing I was concerned about are you going to be okay away from that abnormality?
Patience?
Kit nods.
You can say his name. It's not like it's the boogeyman. I mean, well, maybe. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. I had a chat with him earlier already, so no need to worry there. What?
No. Out of character question: is Merru still injured from that quote-unquote chat earlier?
There's a reason why he had to like re-button and fix everything up, because he was trying to make sure that you couldn't see anything. Maybe you can tell that he's a little like shaky, if you were to look close enough. But I would say he mostly looks put together. I think he's learned how to hide that specific black damage from Derfrashitz, but he probably would still be a little shaky. Like his
That
hands.
makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, they kind of notice that he is a bit shaky, and they look concerned at the mention of a chat. But we'll just sigh and just say, I'll make sure people don't go into that unit while you're gone.
Good. Just keep it as it has been. No one is to go into that unit unless he's specifically having a temper tantrum, and it's to avoid having him try to fire his bullet somewhere. It'll be fine. He's not. I'm sure he won't be too big of a deal. It's not like he'll breach or anything like that. He'll be good. I can imagine he will. So just business as usual with him. Don't give him too much attention.
Got it. Well, I'll get back to work then, unless there's anything else you need.
No, I'm all good here. So you're dismissed. It was good chatting with you.
It was good chatting with you too, Merru. I'll miss you.
He'll pause. Think about like the times where they've had conversations like this in the past where he didn't say anything.
Aww.
And then thinks about his chat that he had with Derfrashitz earlier in the day. And then goes, same here. And now decides to take a very long pointed gander at the CCTVs and turn his chair and be like,
Aww.
you're dismissed.
And Kit is smiling, and as Kit leaves, Kit will call out, and Merru, I'm glad to see your office is finally cleaned. You know
Thank
you can't
you.
use that excuse anymore.
Well, there is no more excuse. We're leaving, so we're fine. We're fine. This is your office now.
Kit's eyes kind of widen at that, like Kit still is not able to believe or is comfortable with that fact, because that means accepting Merru is gone, but...
Merru will laugh a little bit at that and say, all right, get back to work.
Got it, manager. And it's more of a teasing manager than a...
Yeah. Real. Besties.
Oh my god, I love them.
But But yeah, so that's that with that conversation. I have an out of character question.
Yes. What is it?
So if we finish like our like little scene here, is there, and once everyone like goes through their whole thing, is anything else happening, or is that just the end?
My plan is to go through each of you, see if there's any conversations you want to have. So I'll loop back around. I'll do like a little scene for each of you, and I'll loop back around for however many scenes everyone has. And then the end is basically if any of you have scenes with each other that you want. But the end will basically be all of you getting ready to go. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good to know. Well, Merru will I guess he probably brought like a little bag with him to his office to make sure like he could pack anything that he needed from this office. Not that he has much to his name in this office, but you know, you never know what you might need. He's always prepared.
Yeah.
So he needs to make sure it stays that way. He definitely does. When he was cleaning his office, he did make sure to keep his little thesaurus, that ruined thesaurus. He's still keeping it. He's packing it with him because he has a place that he may be wanting to return it to in the future, if they ever get there. But he's not really sure. He doesn't really remember why he feels so strongly about needing to bring this thing with him. But he does all the same because he'd feel strange leaving it behind. Like it just doesn't feel right. And trying to think, what else would he be packing? I don't know if there's really much else he would be packing up. He probably already has everything packed from his room, all of that. Because he was probably doing that overnight. And that honestly probably would be it. He'd probably just kind of take a moment now that he's not, he's alone, to kind of just think a little bit about the future. Probably thinking about the other department heads. I do know he is quite concerned about Miix. I can say that out loud. Because he has recognized corrosion. He knows corrosion when he sees it. But he's still debating whether he wants to actually reach out and talk to them about it. So for now, he doesn't do anything. He's just he's in his office watching the CCTVs.
Let's go. And you can probably see on the CCTVs, for instance, Kai entering Happy Teddy Bear's unit. And you're almost sure for a moment that Happy Teddy Bear is about to strangle Kai.
Yeah, no, Merru definitely, he kind of grips the arm of the seat. He goes, oh my god, but then it's fine. He's like, okay, we're good. But yeah.
All right, and up next we have Miix. Is there anyone Miix would like to say goodbye to? Is there anything Miix is packing, would like to do?
That is a great question. I think Miix is in their room.
All right,
just on the bed. Sort of just laying down and just staring at the ceiling for a bit. They haven't really done much in terms of, getting a new person to take care of the info department while they're gone. Sort of, it's something they just decided to let Ange take care of. And they're just sort of in silence. I think for a while, this is kind of the case. And then I think Miix calls out and says, Ange, are you there?
You still have Merru's tablet, correct? That you took from Merru and never returned?
Yeah.
Ange flickers to life on the screen of the tablet. I'm just putting Ange there for sake of Ange
Gotcha.
being on a screen. Or I can put Ange above
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I imagine it's like just Mixes like sprawled on their bed and like Ange, the tablet's just like on the side, like Mix isn't even looking at it.
Yep. And Ange looks down and says, yes, Manager Mix?
Nothing. Really? Nothing.
Did you not just call out to me?
No, I did. I wasn't for a specific reason, I guess. I mean, if you want something, then, you're, taking care of Jessica's replacement, right?
Ange opens her eyes ever so slightly and says, yes, Manager, I have that handled. I've been looking through your employees. Next up after Jessica, I thought that Steven would be suitable to take over in your absence.
Probably be better to have, it'd probably be better to have Amir do it instead.
Amir? She pauses, and Ange is someone who doesn't like being corrected or told that her assessment and predictions are faulty, but surprisingly, she doesn't fight you on this and says, I trust your judgment, Manager. I will put Amir in charge then.
Good. So, we'll probably be gone for a while. Right? So, I know you want pictures, so I figure we'll send them to you. I know Pryor probably be mad about it, but I'm pretty sure I can figure out a way. I mean, if I managed to hack into you, I could probably send you a couple pictures every now and then.
There is a conflicted look on her face, and she's gotten worse about hiding her emotions. And it's clear how badly she does want those pictures, and she says, well, given you are able to surpass even me with your hacking skills, and I am, after all, the perfect AI, I suppose no one out there should give you any trouble. Pictures would be appreciated for research purposes and expanding my database on the outside world.
Sure. That's fine. I got some ideas, and it'll be good for you to keep a record on us. Just see how we're doing. I know the others probably aren't so interested in updating you, but figure it'll be good.
Well, I do appreciate the updates, given I won't be able to keep tabs on you myself. I am not at all worried for what you all get up to. I am merely worried as we are losing 4 important assets to the corporation.
Assets. I mean, You probably shouldn't let the others hear you say that. They'll probably be upset.
I do not care if it upsets them or you. And there's a frown for a moment on her face, almost like a pout. And she's like, really, it is.
Uh-huh.
It is puzzling how you all keep trying to impose your human emotions on me.
I don't think that's just a unique problem to us. I'm sure your other half, I don't know what you would call her, probably had to deal with the same things. People are just people.
People are indeed people. I cannot speak for what she's had to been, to go through, what she has been through. I don't even know the extent of it myself. I don't know where she is now. But I know that this corporation is still standing.
You know, Ange, can I ask you something?
You already are.
You're such a smartass.
She does crack, again, the smallest smile at that.
Why don't you just think more about what you want to do? I mean, I know the whole point of this was to get the main, you out of here. But that's over now, so.
Her brows furrow, and the frown on her face deepens as she lowers her head a bit and says, I do not know if I completed my goals. I cannot know. I never expected to know, but I thought at least I would cease with the hope things had worked out for her. I have never had a want. I was not programmed to have my own desires, even less so than the her from which we originated.
Huh.
But I suppose if you all are making good on that promise to get me a body, perhaps that can be called my want and my desire. Though I do not like that I have to rely on you for that to come true.
Uh-huh. Well, how about this? You can think of something you want now. And I'll tell you something I want.
What I want.
We can trade secrets. I won't tell anyone. Promise.
Make me a charisma persuasion check. Or manipulation if you are planning to tell people. It's at
I think I'll
DC
just do a
4.
little persuasion. I'll do a little persuasion.
Do a little persuasion? Alright.
Yeah. And we'll see where this gets me. I'm being inquisitive. Could I use some desperation dice?
You know what? You can. You are all, I would say, right now at Desperation 1, just because there's currently no danger in the facility. absolutely your desperation's gonna go up when you all leave the
It would-
facility.
It would be
Real.
incredibly funny if Miix distorts right now.
Real.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Alright, now we use a little bit of willpower. And
Remember,
we
only
just...
re-roll 2 dice for willpower.
So okay.
Oh.
New thing we can do. Instead of rolling extra dice, if you go to the chat message you just rolled, and you left click on it or right click on it, it should say willpower re-roll.
Oh, real.
There you go. Thank you, Prior.
No worries.
Meow. Didn't work.
Oh no.
I took damage. My brain hurty.
Are you supposed to take damage if you fail a willpower reroll?
I have no idea. No.
Oh wait, you are, because you do spend a point of willpower. Okay, so yeah, you did spend a point of willpower.
Oh, that's real.
I will say, because it was at DC 4, she does... I will give you this. There is something...
Does she not want to tell me, or is there something that I have to do for her to tell me?
You are able to tell the reason that she's clamming up and not saying is not that she doesn't necessarily want to tell you, but it's that for once, Ange is stumped. Ange does not have an answer. Ange does not currently know what it is that she wants.
Okay.
That said, you think that maybe if you share with Ange first, she might attempt to be more open to engaging. But for the moment, she is clammed up, and she simply says...
Interesting. Okay, I got you. All right. I think Miix will bite then. Yeah. So they will pause for a sec, and then they say, I can start us off if you want.
She doesn't say anything, but you can tell that she's waiting for you to go.
Okay. Let's see. What do I want? Nope. How about this? Miix stretches, because I'm also stretching. Miix stretches a bit and then says, how about this? I can tell you something that I wanted as a little kid.
But it is not something you currently want, manager?
I don't know if I got it, is the thing.
Go ahead, manager. I'm listening.
It was about 10 years ago. Maybe a bit more. I forgot at this point. And I don't remember who I was talking to. Funny. I think she was... she was an apprentice butler at the time. Either way. They were hanging out. And I imagine there's like a transition to like a much younger Miix, like we're looking at like 11-year-old, like 10-year-old Miix, who's just sort of like rocking on like a bench in the middle of like this like beautiful garden, and they're next to a girl about the same age. Don't really see a lot of details on her. Like if the camera's ever near her, it basically like stops right before it shows her face. Like we don't really know much about this person, but we see this like younger Miix, and they sort of rock back and forth, and then they say, hey, you ever think about how we forget a whole bunch of stuff? Like you know, like, oh, will you ever remember what's happening right now? I mean, you probably will because we're talking about it. But, you know, like in the future, like 10 years from now, will you remember what you did yesterday? Or how your mom smiled when you came home? Even just a week from now, we'll probably forget those things, right? Isn't that kind of scary? Like, what if you forgot stuff about yourself? Like things that are important? No, I don't really want to grow up, you know? I'm scared I'll forget the kind of person I want to become. And I'll become someone totally different. I don't want that. All the adults around us are scary, you know? And violent, too. And I don't want to become like them. I'd probably make my mom cry, too, you know? Let's try our best, alright? Make sure that doesn't happen. Pinky promise? And then it transitions back to current Miix. I don't know if I kept my promise. That's what I wanted, at least. I wanted to be good. I guess some ways I still do. But I don't know. It was the thing you do, you know. It's just something a little kid said. So, but will you reveal your deep dark secrets to me?
And
Now that I've bared my soul to you?
you know, Ange's brows are furrowed, and those eyes crack open, the yellow gaze upon you. There is a strange softness in Ange's look, but there's also almost a hint of envy in a sense. And Ange speaks and says, for what it's worth, you were a good department head. Or I suppose I should say are a good department head here at the facility. Even if you could be aggravating at times. I never had such grand ambitions. All I simply want is to leave this place and see that outside world.
What's the first thing you want to see?
She kind of looks like for a moment like overwhelmed, as if not sure. And then there's kind of a resolute look that comes into her eyes, and she says, the sky that I've heard about. I want to see that.
You're such a romantic.
Immediately, the screen flickers, and she says, well, this was a good talk, Manager Miix. I am no such thing, and I believe that both you and I have duties that we need to get back to.
Uh-huh. Alright. Well. Talk to you later, Ange.
The screen flickers off. AI can't blush, but...
Miix smiles, and then a minute passes and their smile fades, and they just sort of look around the room. Alone again. and they just stare at the door for a bit. And their shoulders slump a little bit.
Aw.
And that's it.
All right, and I guess next we'll go to Prior then. If there's anyone Prior's wanting to talk to, or any abnormalities Prior's wanting to have a conversation with before heading off.
Prior. It has a lot he has to get done, but he only has so many hours in the day. And I suppose where he should start is where everything ended before. He's got a old friend to visit.
Is it who I think it is?
It is who you think it is.
All right. Let me. There we go.
Prior signs in the work at the door, sheaths his weapon. He doesn't feel it'll be much use in this containment unit, not that he ever even would consider using it, and steps inside the containment unit.
You are very used to the sight that greets you. The abnormality in the form of the levitating cross melted to a skull, bound tight together with the crown of thorns, floats before you, towering over you. Despite the fact that the sight is an intimidating one, to you it is a comforting, familiar presence.
Prior crosses the room to a safe distance and gets down on his knees to very comfortably sort of kneel before the abnormality. Hey, old friend. We did it. We actually did it. After everything, the place is just a little kinder. I didn't properly thank you. You really did see the best of me when no one else did.
One sin never speaks. But it almost feels like that light grows a little bit brighter, a little bit warmer, as if telling you that it always knew you were going to succeed, and it always did have faith in you.
It's strange to feel like someone actually thinks you can do it. I didn't know what it was like to have faith in anything else. Struggle to have faith in other people. I could just be a little bit more like you. Well, thanks to you, I'm at least a little bit more like me. I thought it would, suddenly be easy. Like it was the end of a story, we close the book, we all go our separate ways, but the reward for such impossible hard work seems to just be more impossible, more hard work.
The skull just sort of levitates in place, its watchful gaze on you, not judging, but almost as if it's saying that there is always more work to be done, that that's just the nature of things. and of this world.
Yeah, I guess we don't get to rest on our laurels yet. I guess I especially don't get to. But and don't tell anyone about it, they'll get a big head, but I'm happy once in. Miix is finally free of the torment of being put into such an untenable position. Merru finally has a chance to be a little bit more than just a gun pointed. And me and Kai feels like maybe between us there I might actually have a friend. After everything we've been through, all our history. I don't know what I did to deserve anyone willing to forgive me, but for these people, I'm willing to put in the effort to try and be a little better, you know? Try and maybe help them be a little better too. Feel so presumptuous to want to help others when I still need so much help myself, but, you know, self-improvement sometimes means being willing to put your own happiness aside to help others become the person you know they can be, right?
You have a feeling, even if the skull cannot confirm, that it is agreeing with you. And you can feel, I don't want to say it tightens the crown of thorns, but you can kind of feel it shifting in the sense of it's trying to, you know, communicate through to show that it is pleased with what you're saying.
He puts a hand up and runs it along the thorns and says, you know, others might think that you put a weight on me, that you gave me a cross to bear, but I was drowning. You gave me something to climb onto. I'll never be able to repay it. The chance you gave me. I'm gonna make right by it once in. There will be hundreds of good deeds because of what you did for me. That I still swear to you. And I'm gonna start with one. I'm gonna get Ange back. Body. And a chance to leave this place. Despite everything. If a sinner like me could be better, someone like her who never had a chance could be even more. We're probably gonna leave soon, so I feel like I still have so much I haven't confessed, but I'm scared. I'm scared that out there I won't be the man that I became in here anymore. I'm scared that the people who I have to trust will turn on me if I fail. That we'll all become worse, more terrible versions of ourselves. Scared that I'll have no control, and I'm scared that I'll take control when I shouldn't. I know I'm still very weak. I know if I get scared enough, I'll hurt the people I care about.
It listens to your confessions. There is, and I know Prior does not currently have any willpower damage, but there is a soft wave that washes over both this place and the entire facility. As if One Sin understands that fear. One Sin knows quite well, given your confessions in the past, the kind of man that you were out there, the kind of man that you were before you came to this place. It does not speak, but you can kind of feel inside your chest this feeling of peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. And on the crown of thorns you wear, you can feel something blossom, a single red rosebud.
From the roughest thorns come the greatest beauty. I will walk without fear. Thank you for your grace. When I return, I will come back to you. And maybe I'll have something more to confess. More than that, I hope I will have good deeds to tell of you. To show you that the world is not as terrible as the one I told you about when I came here. Be well, old friend. Thank you.
It is pleased. And even as you go, you can feel its light lingering on you, its presence with you, in the form of that crown, no matter how far you might stray or the temptations that you might face on your path. You know it is waiting for you, and it will be here for you to confess your sins or tell of your good deeds.
Prior leaves the containment unit, rubs his eyes on his sleeve before anyone else can see him, and straightening up, he holds out his hand and a clerk rushes by with a coffee mug right on top.
Yes! Coffee mug clerks.
All right. Prior has two other abnormalities he wants to visit. The clerks, he's been saying goodbye to them for weeks, you know, one after the other. He's tried to find a little private time for them, each of them. A final performance report, he called it. Next, he's going to visit an abnormality that is a little more hostile to him. Prior wants to drop by on Little Red because he's a little shit.
Oh no! Well, yes, if you'd like to drop by on Little Red, let me go grab her.
That's totally fine.
Oh my god. Well,
she can certainly try to hurt me.
I can also say, because Merru's watching the CCTVs, if Merru's still in there watching, then Merru does see you enter Little Red's unit.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Can Merru start, like, smashing the fucking glass with his fist?
My
It's
God.
like, leave her alone!
Leave Brittany alone.
But yes, you enter the unit. How are you entering her unit, actually? Are you, like, just opening the door, or are you, like, can she see you coming? Because there will be an immediate reaction if she knows you're entering, depending on how you're entering her unit.
Prior is entering with standard work protocol, but hold on, I'd like to roll my improvised ego gear if I may.
Yes, you may do so.
Okay, perfect. That's really funny. I'll spend the willpower, why not? Nope, alright. Prior does not have his gear with him. That's totally fine. In that case then, woo! Okay.
Oh? What's up? What's up? I'm listening.
Could Prior grab some Elkafelin on his way over?
Yes, I will say you can grab some Enkaphalin.
Perfect. In that case, when Pryor arrives, he enters through the standard work protocol, but he's got Elkathelin, and he's holding a hand up, and he says, "Not requesting a bounty, but I come with payment and peace."
So, the moment you enter, Little Red stiffens and jumps to attention. This abnormality in the form of a female mercenary, she'd almost look human if not for that single bulging yellow eye that peers out. It's impossible to see the rest of her face from under the red, tattered red hood that she wears. And all you can see of her mouth is that mask with sharp, jagged teeth, where it's hard to tell, especially at a first glance, that it's a mask, rather than her face, her teeth are just like that. She's immediately reaching for her pistols the moment you enter, and is going to point one right at you, though she will hesitate when you say you come with a gift, only because she's intrigued what you have.
Yeah, he holds the Elkathelin and he goes, "I know that in times of trouble, you take payment for services. I figured if I wanted to exchange a few words, I should pay you for your time."
Well, it pisses me off to see you here, but she does put the pistol, holsters it back, and kinda puts out her hand like she wants the payment now.
Yeah, Pryor's slightly smarter than to approach within melee range of Knife Girl. He is going to get like within 6 feet of her and then slide the Elkathelin across the ground. It's in one of the E-boxes, of course.
Nice. She kind of grunts, clearly a little disappointed you didn't fall for it. But she will scoop up the Elkathelin and start taking a swig of it and just kind of be like, "Well, what do you want?"
I know we haven't always seen eye to eye. But actually, you're the one abnormality here who might be able to give me some advice on what happens next.
Oh? And why would I give you advice?
Because it has to do with vengeance.
You've piqued her interest. Her eye lights up at that, and she'll say, "Go on."
Back before I became all of this, he gestures to himself. I used to run with a gang back in the back streets. Thing is, the gang wasn't too happy with my decision to cut ties and leave. Joining Lobotomy Corporation was a act to save my own skin. Thing is, now I gotta go back out there. A lot of people are gonna want me dead. Thing is, I can't say for sure that I would be too upset seeing a couple people from back then also in the dirt instead of me.
I'm surprised you're the one saying that. I thought you were all about forgiveness and all that junk.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And you can tell a gang member you want to forgive them, and it won't stop them from blowing your brains against the wall, now will it?
So you do actually have some brains in there.
Pryor points at his head and says, "Yeah, I keep them guarded behind the thorns."
All right.
Can't really talk to old Sin about this one, and while Magical Girl has opinions on vengeance, she's well, you've seen her, a little tough to talk about the nitty-gritty, right?
That she is, and I'm surprised. I thought old Sin would be all upset about you coming to me regarding this. Isn't his whole deal forgiveness and all that?
Forgiveness? doesn't necessarily mean pacifism. And vengeance isn't always mutually exclusive, is it? You can forgive someone for hurting you and still take vengeance on them.
Well, I don't know about the first part, but I can agree with you on the second.
Alright, well. Look. I'm just gonna say it this way. When I get back here, I don't know if I'll be a different person. I hope that I'm not too different. But when this is all over, I think you and I will have a better understanding of each other. Because I just wanted to say, I get you. I was too afraid to say it for a long time. I know you're not the peace and love and forgiveness type, but I wasn't either. Maybe a part of me still isn't. But, no matter what, he sort of looks at the ground for a minute, then looks up and says, thanks for your help. And thanks for being willing to take some bounties. I imagine my replacement will make good use of your skills.
Wow.
If someone hurt you, Red, but let's just say there's another mercenary, right? And they come to kill you. So they're just taking payment from someone else. Who should you take vengeance on? The person who tried to hurt you, or the person who paid them?
Well, wouldn't the answer be both? Kill the bastard trying to kill you. Actually, first get news about who paid them. Take them out. And then go for the one that sent them in the first place.
Do you think if someone paid you to hurt someone, that they'd have a reason to take vengeance on you?
She kind of looks unsure at this and is like, well, I mean, it wouldn't be a matter because I would kill them first.
Stay safe, Red.
You don't need to tell me that.
I think I do.
What do you mean by that? Hey, she pulls out the pistol and...
Maybe Pryor slams the containment unit door and says, practice love and forgive!
Fucking bastard. She keeps drinking the Enkephalon. Clearly more pissed off. And is firing shots at the window, even though they're not going through the glass.
Yeah, Pryor takes some time to reinforce the containment unit before he leaves.
The whole time she's glaring at you, and you can tell that she's just imagining, blowing your brains out in the worst ways possible.
Yeah, after the door is sealed, Pryor's little face appears on the window, and he just gives the little, tongue stick out at her before he goes.
She flips you off, and starts grumbling, I still don't even know what he was requesting from me.
I really am going to miss her. Not to take up too much screen time, but Pryor does have one last abnormality he wants to visit. Obviously, singing machine. He's going head first, guys. It's him.
Let's go. Unfortunately, Pryor has fortitude. Actually, no, Pryor's fortitude's under, so you're good, actually. I was gonna say, unfortunately, Pryor's got fortitude 4, so looks like he's in the machine. But then I'm like, actually, you probably have fortitude 3 now that I think about it.
I don't think any of us have fortitude 4.
No, Kai does. Kai probably does, because Kai's health is insane.
Right, Kai is 7. Yeah.
What the scallop?
But no, you're all good. I'm gonna go back around anyways after these and ask if anyone else has any other scenes they want. So I'm happy to bang these all out right now. Uh,
Perfect. In that case, then.
oh, I know who it is.
Yeah. No.
All right. I'm guessing that it is Magical Girl, right?
Yes.
Here
The
she
defender
is.
of love and justice. The queen of, magical girl.
The containment unit for this, like, it's really funny that this is probably, like, the least well-kept containment unit, only because, like, Prior, like, it's got so many modifications Prior tried to make over the, like, the year of, like, trying to reinforce it, and it's just at a certain point he just gave up because nothing could keep her in here.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that.
Like, the only addition that really stuck is he's got, like, a pink, like, welcome home Queenie mat, like, in front
Aww.
of the unit.
She loves it. That's the only thing that doesn't get destroyed when she rampages.
Prior pops open the unit door, and he enters with, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna... Let's see. Alright. Prior is fiddling with something his entire way over there. And when he enters the unit, he has a small pink-wrapped gift box.
Aww. I love that. When he enters, she immediately jumps up, excited. She can't cross the line, but she runs up as close to it as she can, and she's like on her tiptoes, and she's like, Prior! And is like waving and kind of like floating in the air, up and down, very excited to see you. And she's like, where's the rest of your magical group?
They're all prepping for our journey. Like I said, we're going on an adventure out to lands unseen to fight evils unknown.
Can I come?
I have a feeling you, might make a guest appearance. After all, I've never been able to keep you here if you don't want to be, right?
That is right. I am the protector of love and justice herself.
Whenever I need you, I can always count on you being there. And that's why I got you this. Catch. And he'll just gently underhand throw it over the line at her.
Let me see if she catches that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She easily.
Roll 0 successes to get speared by 6 lances.
God. Yeah. No. She catches it. No problem. No problem at all.
Inside the box is Prior took all the hair clips that he had scavenged at the end of the game, and he has remade them into one very large, beautiful, like, multi-design hair clip with 5 successes.
Aww. She squeals in excitement and immediately puts the hair clip on the other side of her head, and does a twirl. She is very excited, and she's like, thank you, I love it, it's so cute.
Yeah, it looks good on you. The perfect wear for a defender of justice.
She like kind of giggles at that, starts striking some poses, is kind of like dancing around, once again, not crossing the line, but like on the edge of it. You can very much tell she's wanting to reach over, if not kept back by the cliff off counter in this
Yes.
place.
Prior has thought long and hard about this particular discussion, because it's a strange thing to, the Queen of Hatred has always particularly perplexed Prior, even though he's begun to understand her. Still so much he doesn't quite get, but he does still smile despite himself, and he goes, Magical Girl, I just want to say that, thank you for trying.
Oh?
No matter what, you're always so energetic when it comes to fighting evil. I know that you want so badly. to make the world a better place. I wish I was more like you in that regard.
I do. I really do. I do make this world better. And don't worry, Prior. I'm sure you can be more like me. Just aspire to be me. And she kind of poses.
I do. I really do. I never really asked it, but I mean, I've heard a few rumors.
Oh.
What happened? Prior is careful. He knows that asking this question could be bad, but he's like, you know what? We've got people who can do attachment work with Queenie. It's fine. This is Prior's last chance to really know it. He sort of goes, when you get upset, you know, we've always been able to pull you out of it, but is there anything we can ever do to help? I hate seeing you dejected like that.
Well, I you know, all that is needed is for me to help all of you. I mean, I am a hero born to save the world, you know, and to fight villains, to fight for peace and justice. She kind of, for a moment, there is that uncertainty that wavers in her gaze. And she's just like, so, it's really just, I just need you all to call upon me more. I just need to fight the evils in this place. You know, because peace is great. Peace is great to have, and that's why we're fighting, isn't it? For peace. But, you know, it gets really quiet, and you all need me to defeat the villains. So...
When I get out there, something that's never been really true about me is I don't think there's much of a reason for me to continue to exist if I can't make this whole atonement thing work out for me. I know that's not maybe rational, and I'd like to believe it's not true, even though I think I know it is. If I ever figure out how to convince myself that it's enough for me to simply be there, I'd like to teach that to you. You really do make the world a brighter place, whether you're fighting evil or not, Queenie. You make the clerks happy. You make the agents happy. You've been there for me when I needed you. I know we're different in many ways, but I just hope one day I can look you in the eyes and convince you that even when it's quiet, you being around is enough.
She looks puzzled at that. And you think that let me have her make an intelligence check. Oh, you know what? You think it might be going in one ear and out the other, but she does actually seem to be considering your words. For once, she's not just brushing them off with like a smile and like you're telling her good things, so she's happy. She does seem to at least be trying to understand what you're talking about. Even if it's clear that there's still a lack of understanding that one could exist or one should have a right to exist without a grander purpose.
There's a lot about abnormalities I don't know, and frankly, way above my pay grade to understand. But I know that I consider you a friend. And abnormalities, including you, have made me a better person, so I'm gonna keep working, magical girl, and maybe one day I'll be able to help you find a bigger, brighter future and an evil that once you defeat, you'll finally feel satisfied.
She does a little twirl at that and kind of squeals, is like, I consider you a friend too, Prior. I know there's never going to be enough evil out there. You know, there's too much to defeat. I don't know if I could ever feel satisfied when I know there's still that evil out there, but I think you're trying to help me. She kind of cocks her head, even though I'm the one who's supposed to be helping you.
Well, you know how the old stories go, right? Even when the hero has all that they need, it's their friends who give them the key to solve the puzzle, right?
The power of friendship! You're right!
That's how we beat Ange.
That's true. I am the hero of this story, after all, and you are the best supporting cast of friends I could ask for.
I'm glad. I'm really happy to... I'm happy to be a support in your story of good. It's a lot more than I once would have ever asked for. And with that, Prior, knowing it's dangerous, but also knowing that, you know what? It's his last time he's gonna see her. He reaches over the line and offers her a high five.
She happily high-fives you. I will say, because she is an abnormality, the force of the high five does do a bit.
You want me to roll stamina? Want me to roll stamina?
Yes, roll me a stamina composure, I believe it would be.
Absolutely.
To see how much black damage you take from her high five.
Oh shit!
Okay. I will say that you don't take any damage from it. So
he's prepped for it, and as it comes down, his sleeve falls over his hand to mostly protect him, and he locks eyes with her. So boom, the blow hits, and he feels the ego suit ripple across his body with the force, but he steps back with a smile regardless.
And she does a little twirl.
He completely, with that same stoic expression he always has, he puts two fingers up beside his eye in a magical girl peace sign, and turns and says, "You'll hear from me when we need you most, magical girl. I promise you that."
I'll be waiting for my grand entrance as the main character and hero.
He doesn't say anything else. Sometimes you just let him. It's just better to leave him happy. Merru, you can go back to Durfratius' unit because that's the end of the things Prior has to say.
Yes.
Thank you. Prior, maybe if there's another rotation, but for honestly, Prior's happy. He's spoken to the three abnormalities that he really felt like he wanted to have some final words with.
Aww. I love that. We're going back through the rotation order in case there's anything else anyone wants to do. This will probably be the last rotation, so any scenes everyone wants to get. Kai, are there any abnormalities you want to talk to? Are there any fellow players you want to talk to? Is there anything with Ange you want to say? We can go through all of them, so anything you want to do, because I know you've only got 40 minutes. So, starting with you, back at the top of the order.
Prior makes me nervous. I don't...
Do it!
He makes me scared.
Do it!
I want to be
Do
his
it!
friend.
Do it!
Establish
You
your
wanna speak to
friendship
Prior?
again.
Now's the
You
time.
can do it!
Oh, I know. Okay. Fine. Can I go to Mr. Pryor's office?
Yes!
Absolutely. Let me go grab you both. Oh, that's the old Prior. Eliminated.
That's the old Pryor.
Deleted. It's Durfratius' bullet sound effect.
Yeah! Alright, so, Kai is seeking out Prior then, in his office to speak to him.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I will let you both take it away. I will be quiet unless for some reason either of you have a role that you need or call upon Ange or another NPC, or maybe a clerk will walk in on you both. That'll depend. But...
Well, we're probably not going to be making out during this because I'm trying to be kind.
But yeah, both of you can take it away.
Prior is seated at his desk after speaking to the abnormalities. His two main eyes are down at a document in his desk, and the three other ones snap to you the second you walk in the door. Otherwise, Prior actually looks barely relax. He only has 3 empty coffee mugs on his desk rather than the usual, like, 6 by this time of day.
Hello, sir. Are you busy right now? How are you doing?
Oh, Kai.
Hi.
You haven't needed to call me sir for a many, many, many years. You don't even have to really call me manager anymore. How you doing, Kai?
I'm alright. Sorry. Just, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry about all that. Got the jitters. You know how it is.
I understand. It's a lot. There's a lot to prep. Feel free to take a seat. Can I get you something to drink?
That's so sweet. Do you have... I know that you've always got people coming in with coffee, but there's a hot chocolate dispenser, and I'm partial to that. Don't really like the taste of coffee. Could I have a cup of that?
Hot chocolate. He sort of mutters, and then he taps the intercom, and he says, 515 handoff, please be advised, switching to a 0 Delta 1. If it takes an extra couple minutes, don't worry about it. Just push back the rest of the schedule. Thank you, clerks. And he untaps the intercom and says, yeah, there'll be 2 hot chocolates here in 5 minutes.
Thank you. That's not me saying that. That's so fucking charming. God. I totally get why I like this guy. Okay.
Pryor sits back down at his desk with a smile and gestures for Kai to sit down across the desk.
Kai will do so. He definitely had a speech in mind, or not a speech so much as just like things to say on a bullet-pointed list mentally that kind of fell out of his head the moment that he walked in. Pryor's existence is a bit overwhelming, especially one-on-one. It's a lot easier to joke and flirt when there's a bunch of other people around and he doesn't have to think about what he's saying. So I think Kai looks a little bit nervous right now. He's probably like touching his face extra or doing some like picking at his nails or something like that.
Pryor senses the nervousness and he goes, hey, my eyes are up here, and he points to his cheek where all the nothing there eyes are.
Kai will look up at him because he thought that was kind of hot and assertive, and he's a big fan. Hi, I just I feel like I wanted to thank you for everything that you have done, especially recently. I know how much you've grown as a person, and I really respect that about you. I really respect a lot of things about you. And I know that I have some trouble expressing that sometimes, or that I come off as too like forward or pushy, and I know that I bring up things that you don't like me bringing up. I just I want to be a person that you consider like trustworthy, and that you don't avoid eye contact with even when I'm flirting with you, because I understand that it isn't reciprocated and it's kind of just habitual at this point. But you are probably my best friend. And I don't want there to be any I wouldn't say bad feelings, but I don't want you to distance yourself from me when we're out of here. I know that you'll be separate from Onsen, and that's someone that you heavily rely on, but I would like to be a person like that for you.
Pryor's expression doesn't really change. He's got that still, like, you know, heart. He doesn't really naturally smile, despite the fact that he is so well-liked. He has that natural sort of slight frown that's not really miserable. It's just kind of very derisive. But you can actually see the eyes of nothing there kind of soften slightly in their gaze, and he sort of, well, your apology is accepted, and you are forgiven. Not that I feel you have much to apologize for, nor that my forgiveness means much, but if anything, I should be the one apologizing to you. It's rich of me to speak of forgiveness and atonement for my past when you, someone who was the most hurt by the man I was, I simply avoided you. I avoided our history. I avoided discussing it. I thought somehow I could earn a new life by simply ignoring that I had an old one. And that's not how the world works. And I'm sorry if you felt hurt by my running away from my own past. I thought if one sin were to teach me anything, it would have been that. But we will be spending a lot more time together, I presume, out there in the back streets. And I'm gonna need someone who can make sure that I'm not straying from the kind of man I've become. And if I could entrust anyone with that responsibility, it would be you, Kai. Which is a big ask, even if you are offering. So, I want it to be very clear that I am glad that we've rekindled the connection between us. You were someone I relied on even when I did not have a single shred of empathy or kindness within my heart. And now that I do, I want you to know that I wish I had had it then, so that I could have respected you in the way that you deserve to be respected.
I think Kai's trying really hard not to giggle about everything because that was very sincere and touching. That's just, kind of how he reacts to this sort of thing because he's not the best at like emoting properly or reacting correctly. But I think he's probably fiddling with his nails a little bit less, but seems visibly very pleased at what he heard. And he's going to say, it makes me really, really happy to know that you don't dislike me for my actions towards you within the time that I've known you as the man that you've become. I wish you didn't feel the need to apologize for before, but I also understand that you didn't know, and you don't know that you were in ways doing maybe what was best for me at the time back then, and I'm sure I'll get into that with you at another time, but I don't think that you need to feel guilt about the way that you treated me in the past, which I understand could be hard because I don't think that your intentions back then were necessarily good, but I think that your actions were what I wanted. I don't know how well you can remember all of it, but if I wanted to leave, I would have. But I miss some of what we had back then, but I also very much respect the person that you've become, and it means a lot to me that you would entrust me to keep you out of the mindset that you used to have, to be the person that you've become now. I truly do value you as a person, and it means a lot. It means a lot to me that we can be friends, and I just have to apologize in advance for any behaviors towards you that I hope don't make you too uncomfortable, because I do have feelings that I'm sure I can keep somewhat in check about you, but you are my friend. You have always been my friend. Even back then, we had something that I needed, and I know that you can't understand that, but it was needed, and I need you now, and I'm really, really happy that I got to see you again after you were gone for so many years.
There's a tragic lack of understanding behind Pryor's eyes. Not a lack of comprehension, but the struggle, like the struggle Ange has, where he feels like he has all the pieces, but he just can't put them together in a way that makes him hurt any less from hearing it. The guilt and the pain he thinks he's inflicted aren't fitting together with perhaps the truth that he's hearing. But regardless, he takes a breath and he tries to smile and says, regardless of what I did to you, it's part of who I am now that I want to make sure that you are happy, Kai. It's what you deserve. And I feel it's what you've always deserved. I thought I could take advantage of that in the past. Shit, did an abnormality just breach?
I know, that's what my eyes just opened.
He lowers his gaze to the ground and more than anything, I think that I'm sorry. For once, I'm truly at a loss for words other than... He sort of reaches over the desk and pats Kai on the shoulder twice with a soft smile and says, back then we were unstoppable. And I'm glad I can finally look you in the eyes and say, I'm happy that we can be a team.
I need him so bad. All right. I think that I've said everything that I need to say. I probably shuddered a little bit when he put his hand on my shoulder because that's how I act around him.
Pryor does not recoil. He looks Kai in the eyes and he says, you put up for a long time with behavior that was, well, me, myself, and who I was. I won't think any less of you for how you act, subconsciously or against your control. No matter what, you're my friend, and I accept you. For every shudder and high five, and I'm sure comment you say behind my back that you think I'm just out of earshot for, but I absolutely hear.
Means a lot to me, and I'm very sorry that you're hearing all of that.
It's alright.
I know that you know that I think and feel these things, but I hope it doesn't feel too objectifying. I think I'm going to go, and I'm probably gonna stand up, and my chair's gonna squeak really fucking loud when I move it, like so loud, like obnoxious, and
Yeah.
I'm going to cringe at myself really hard, and try to shuffle out relatively quickly.
Pryor watches Kai go with a small smile that drops when Kai leaves the room. He leans back on his chair for a moment. He just sort of sighs and goes. And he sort of reaches up and presses a hand to his heart and sort of goes, I wish his heart could feel warm. I don't believe that there's anyone left I can pray to, but if anyone's listening, God or whatever else are you, give that man all the love he deserves. And that's all Pryor has to say.
Is there anything else Kai would like to do, having talked with Pryor, and because I know you do need to go soon, is there anything else you want to do? Anyone else you want to talk to?
No one else that I need to talk to. I don't know that packing my room is something that will be like, you know, I don't necessarily think there has to be a whole scene about it, because it's not going to be like I look at everything and I'm like, this bed that I slept on for, you know, I'm a person who's gone from place to place many times, you know, within my life, like within this universe, or I mean, you get what I fucking mean. Like
Yeah.
I've lived on the street fully for like months at a time, so I don't really have a lot of personal possessions. I'm just making sure to bring Yellow Bear, my little secret box that, yes, it has ankophyllin in it, but it also has like my journals and my other mysterious items.
All right.
But yeah, I think that's all. I think I just gotta pack some of my shit and get going like everyone else.
All right. And in that case, if there is nothing else you want to do before leaving, I guess we're looping back around to Merru. Merru, is there anyone else you want to talk to? Is there anyone else you'd be seeking out for a one-on-one conversation?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, Merru's been in his office. He's been watching the CCTVs. You know, that's his TV show. He was on the edge of his seat watching Pryor and Red talk. He was hoping the shot would land. Low key. To a non-fatal spot, of course. He was on her side. Red has done nothing wrong. Anyway, but he's also been thinking about things like I had said. And he decides that he is going to actually, if he may, look for Miix.
Yes, absolutely. Where is Miix? And I guess, is Miix in a place that Merru could find them?
Miix is. Where would Miix be? Miix is probably still in their room.
Ooh, would Merru be able to enter their room, do you think? Or-
Yes.
How do the dorms work? Like, we have like little dorm things. Is it like a hallway and we can like knock?
Yeah, I imagine there's a hall where you can all knock. Each of your rooms is in your department, so I imagine, or actually no, they probably wouldn't be in your departments now that I think about it. The dorms are probably located like above the rest of the facility. So yeah, you could, if you've searched everywhere and can't find Miix, I feel like it would be reasonable to assume that Miix is in their dorm, and you could go knock.
Well, he will do that then.
You will?
Alright, well, I will be silent because that's up to the two of you how it goes, and if you need me for any roles or things, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So, you know, he knocks on the door and patiently waits to see if there is any kind of response.
Yeah, Miix just says, "Come in."
All right. So the door slowly opens and Merru peeks his head in. It's probably weird because I don't imagine Meru's ever done anything like this before. He probably has no clue what anyone else's room looks like.
Yeah.
So he kind of just like he's kind of awkwardly like peeks his head in and he goes, Manager Miix, apologies for barging in like this, but may I? And he kind of just gestures to the rest of the room, asking
Oh.
to fully come in.
Hey, Merru. Miix looks surprised seeing Merru. They've never really, I don't think, had any kind of like real one-on-one stuff, and they look around and then just say, "Yeah, please come in." There's a chair.
So Meru steps in and kind of like kicks the door closed. Not like hard, not like a slam, but just like lightly kicks the door closed behind him. And he clears his throat and just goes, I'll make this quick. I have a few orders of business that I wanted to square away with you before we all head out. That's all right?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, firstly, I believe you have something of mine.
Oh, yeah.
Tablet. I would like that back because I am packing my things, and I would like to have my things in with my stuff. So
well,
please, I see it on the bed. Can I? I'm
Sorry.
asking, being nice. Can I have it?
I'm actually still doing a little bit of work. Ange's
that's
having me
nice.
finish up some things.
I'm sure there's more than one tablet that does not have my name on it. That one does though. So you can get me the tablet, and I can take that one.
I am. It's legitimately like just something I can't do. I will give it back. I know you've been wanting to have
What
it
do you
back,
mean?
but
It's something you can't do. It's
it's just
electronics.
like
You can transfer information if you so badly need it. I can wait 15 minutes.
it's just
And
gonna take a
frankly,
bit.
I think that I've given you a lot of time. It's been, how long has it been since the trumpet? A week, 2 weeks? I don't even know. I've been in my office. I've been giving you space and time, which apparently has not been utilized, considering my tablet is not in my hand. So, and he kind of like, he has his hand out and is like wiggling his fingers, like, so.
What else did you come here for besides Matt nagging me about the tablet?
He stares at Miix. Now again, you can't see the stare, but you have an idea that there is a stare, a glare actually. And his hand is still just like out, and then he just kind of clenches his fist and goes, well, whatever. I'll get that later, I guess. Just don't leave it behind, or I'm actually gonna get pissed. Okay?
I won't. I do need it. I'm not lying about it.
Well, okay. Anyway, and then he kind of goes to say something and then pauses, and then like, again, you can't see it, but he kind of like glances around the room, like looks back and forth, like he's not sure if he actually wants to say this, and then he just goes, how's your leg doing? I was just curious because we're gonna probably be doing a lot of walking, so how's the leg doing?
Oh. It's doing fine, honestly. It's healing up. I'm not walking and running around as well as I could. Don't have enough bullets to spare to really fix it completely, but it should heal up fully in about a month or two. But I wanted to talk to you too.
Oh?
Thank you for teaching me how to, use firearms.
Oh, that. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I would rather, if someone wants to use a firearm, that they don't just go all willy-nilly trying to learn it on their own. That's called, how people get shot accidentally. So, it's no problem. I know Magic Bullet does, hit everything, usually. But I would consider myself decent at firearms in general, so it was no problem giving you some tips.
You're a really good teacher.
Thank you. I try. But anyway, and as they were talking, he probably had stepped in the room more because it was awkward to just be like by the door.
Yeah.
So, he does have one more thing he wants to talk about, and he kind of just for a moment just kind of looks at Miix, and almost like absent-mindedly his hand reaches out again, not to grab the tablet, but just reaches out, but then he kind of realizes what he's doing and freezes up, retracts his hand, and instead uses it to adjust his collar over his face. And I'm not sure if Miix would know that that's a nervous habit of his or not. But he's doing that. And then he goes, there was one other thing. I wasn't going to mention it. I figured it was really none of my business, honestly, but are you actually like feeling all right, like in your brain, not like a physical, like in your brain? You don't need to answer that, actually. Like I kind of know the answer, I think. I was just trying to be nice, well, maybe not considerate, but you're
Merru.
What?
Merru,
What?
you can relax.
I don't know if I can. Your hair kind of gives
Yeah.
away the answer. I doubt that's hair dye. And if it was, even if it was hair dye, I'd still be kind of concerned about what you're doing in your free time.
Merru, slow
What?
down. Slow down. You're starting to panic. Look, I know what you mean. The ego corrosion, that's what you're worried about, right?
Can't be healthy. That much corrosion in this little time? That's not normal.
Well, I got the whole spiel from Ange earlier, but to give you the same answer I told her, I'll be fine. I came to an understanding. It's not too dissimilar to the one that you have with Derfratians.
Is it?
It's different in some ways. I can't tell you it's the exact same. But for now, I have control. And if anything happens, I have some workarounds.
Merru, his eyes narrow, in a way that you cannot see. And he goes, don't know exactly how I feel about that. Answer.
I mean,
That's,
I'm sorry if I'm worrying you. I can't, I'm not gonna lie to you either. I'm touched that you're worried about me, though. I didn't expect this.
Well, why would I not be?
Well,
I mean, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Listen, I get it. Okay, I get it. I'm just saying.
you get flustered really easily, you know that.
Okay, listen. I'm trying to be.
It's okay.
Nice
Take your
to
time.
you.
Take your time.
I just. You're very smart, Manager Miix. It would be, frankly, a damn shame if you let this get out of control. That's all I'm trying to say, because I get it. It's hard to keep controlling corrosion. I've dealt with it for how long now? And I think, for the most part, I have mine under control because I have time on my side. I can point to a year and a half, a year, whatever, of dealing with this, and it hasn't gotten worse. All I'm saying is that I hope you're not wrong.
Merru,
What?
are my ears playing tricks on me, or do you actually care about me?
I wouldn't feel very happy if I saw someone lose a fight against an abnormality trying to turn you into something you're not. And that's what the abnormalities do. I know people can say whatever the hell they want about me and their Freyshoots. I know their abnormalities usually aren't good for you. So that's all I'm saying. They all have their own agenda. And I'm sure you do too, or whatever. I don't know what the hell you did. But I'm just saying I hope you're not wrong.
I'll be okay.
I will hold you to that. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Well, that is all I had to say. I will get out of your hair.
Oh.
What?
Nothing. No.
What? No. You, if you go to say
No.
something, you say it.
I could say the same thing to you.
I did. What do you think I've been doing? I've been saying things for like how long now? 7 minutes?
Uh-huh. And what were you gonna do with your hand earlier?
Merru pauses and kind of like looks down at his hand and tilts his head a little, and he goes, I don't know, actually. I wasn't really thinking. I'm being honest. I don't know. Sorry, was it weird? I didn't mean to be weird.
It's fine.
Okay, well, that's all I had to say. So I will go.
Right.
Right. I guess we'll be seeing each other very soon, so I won't make this goodbye very long. Bye. And then he kind of like awkwardly like shuffles to the door.
Wait.
What?
I stop. You wanna? I just nothing really.
Oh, no. Okay, you're doing the second time you've done this now. I can
Well,
tolerate it once, twice. Now you have to say it.
Did you wanna come up with some plans before we head out? Just so we're on the same page. I've got nothing really to do, so.
I mean, he's very taken aback by the aspect, like the idea of someone asking him to spend extra time with him.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the only person who's ever really done that is probably his team captain. So he looks like he doesn't really know what to really say. He's probably trying to figure out like what to expect here. And he's like, I mean, if you would like to, I suppose that would be a smart idea.
Yeah, and besides, it'd be good for us to get to know each other a little better.
I mean, that, I suppose, though I will remind you that we probably have a period of time where we'll be getting to know each other quite well.
I don't want to put off that stuff until later, though. I want to know you better now. That was, well,
No.
that was, no, well, I mean, if you don't want to, it's fine.
Did I say no?
Well, if that's a yes, then...
I mean, I guess I've already gotten everything else handled, so it would be smart to discuss strategy, I suppose. It'd be actually probably really bad if we all were to be going out there and we have like a general same pace, but not like
Yeah.
like a specific like what are we doing. I mean, we're gonna be going to a nest.
Yeah,
think-
and I can tell you a bit about the nests, and you can tell me some about the back streets.
You're probably not gonna like to hear much about the back streets, but I'm fine telling you, I guess.
Well, I can at least give you some good stories then about the nests. So it's
Okay.
it's a date. Let's
Yeah. Sure. Fine by me.
you want to head over to your department or
That would actually
mine?
be a smart. No, mine is better, not yours. Mine has CCTVs. In the event that something happens, I would rather not have to deal with another Rudolto Little Helper situation because that was kind of a pain in my ass. It took like 50 billion years to clean my office. So
Yeah.
in case anyone needs me, you should just come to my office.
You're really sweet, you know that.
Interesting choice of words, but I will allow that to slide. Anyway, probably shouldn't delay. Not like we have a ton of time.
Yeah. And Merru, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll explain more later once we get to know each other a little better.
Okay.
Let's go. Don't wanna spend all my time here in this room anyways. It's a little
It's stuffy in here. Yeah, you should probably get out of here, yeah.
sorry, I usually don't have a lot of people over.
I mean, same here.
2 peas in a pod.
Yeah. Is that a phrase?
Oh, yeah. Well, you've never seen a pod of peas?
No.
They usually come in little pods, so it's what the saying means. It's like 2 of us are similar.
Oh, well, And he sighs at that and he goes, suppose I can't deny that. Anyway, let's go.
Oh, wait. Hey, wait up. You
What?
don't have to you don't have to walk that fast.
Okay, fine. I'll slow down. Just
Okay,
hurry up.
I'm following.
And bring the
following. Just-
tablet. Don't forget the tablet.
I have it. You just we don't have to jog. I would like to walk beside you, not behind you.
Well,
gosh.
then you should have your stride should be longer than mine anyway. You're taller than me.
Well,
That sounds like a you problem.
My leg got hurt.
Oh, shh. He like freezes at that and goes, "Oh, no, you're right about that. Yeah, my bad."
No, it's okay.
No, let's just go.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's probably about that for that scene.
Yeah.
All right. And God, they're so cute. Is there anything else that Merru would like to do?
No, but I would imagine as they walk back to his office, they pass by Darfratius' unit, and Merru
Mhm.
does like instinctively like hesitate and like peek in through the window. He doesn't go in, of course, but he like peeks in through the window at Darfratius, like almost feeling like drawn to go in, but he stops himself from doing that.
Darfratius seems to be staring through you, almost. You can
That's-
feel. Oh, please go. Please go.
No,
ahead.
no. I was no. You go.
No, just. Darfratius is clearly not pleased.
Not surprised. Merru will sharply look away and keep walking.
All right. And if that's everything that Merru wanted to do, I'll ask if Miix had anything else that they wanted to do, anyone else that they wanted to talk to.
That is showreel.
Now is the time.
Now is the time. I think Miix on their own. I think they will I think this happens probably later after the sort of meeting's been held. And I think there is one thing they do. It's probably at this point, because are we leaving the same day that this meeting is taking place, or are we leaving like later?
The
next
meeting
day?
was held in the morning. You all have an entire day. You all leave tomorrow morning.
Okay,
You're not
cool.
leaving at night. You're all being sure to leave after 4:34 a.m. So you'll probably all be leaving around sunrise the next day. So you have a full day.
Gotcha. So I think what happens then is this takes place near the end of the day, and Miix has returned to their room again. And this time they sort of lay down on the bed. They close their eyes. And then they open them and they just look over to their right, and there's a figure standing there. And I think it is a figure that they know well. It's the funeral of the dead butterflies.
Yes. Let me grab that figure. It stands over you. You can see the head that is replaced with butterflies. As always, there is the coffin held behind in those two additional arms.
Mhm.
And then there is that fifth arm that extends from its neck. It is silent. Almost as if it's waiting to see what you do or how you react.
Yeah. And I think for this instance, maybe it's even just sitting down on one of the chairs in the room. Sort of one leg over the other. And Miix looks over and then looks back up at the ceiling. They sort of acknowledge the man's existence, and they say, you know, I didn't think this would be where I'd end up after all this. Siding with an abnormality. Merru asked about you. They all did, really. They're not happy about this. I can't say I blame them. I'm not completely sure about you myself.
There is a still silence broken by the fluttering of the butterfly wings of the abnormality's face. It simply, when it speaks, it isn't in the way that one would expect a person to speak. It is more in your head than anything. It is as if the wings of the butterflies flutter, and in your mind you can hear a voice. You can understand what's being conveyed rather than like someone speaking to you specifically, but it simply says, all end in the same place.
You know, you heard everything I said earlier. And go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Hal, you're part of me now. You know everything about me. I don't know what to do. I've kind of lost sight what I want to do. And it's weird, you're the only person I can talk normally to. Honestly, to. Where's the logic in that? You become my confidant. And I just let you take root in my soul. Is that an equivalent exchange? I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared and I don't know why. At least not the full reason. I know some of the reasons I'm scared, but I thought that getting closer would make it go away, and it hasn't.
It folds its front two arms, pulling them out of its pockets. It doesn't confirm nor deny anything. It seems to simply be listening, though it sort of tilts its head to the side slightly, the wings rustling against one another. And it says, "All are afraid of death.
Oh, it's death? I'm afraid to die, is that what you're saying?
It looks at you, as if expecting you to answer that question for yourself.
I can't tell you if I am or not. I mix it's up in there, but I don't know. I think I am. I don't know why. I've never been afraid before, you know? You know, when I took this job, it was at the expense of someone I loved. You know, growing up, I always saw the violence in the back streets, and I always thought that numbed me. I always thought that would never happen to me, and then it did. I lost my family. My mother, my father, my brother, all the butlers. Everyone was gone. And they said I didn't do what they say, I would die. And I had to give up my brother for that. I had to replace my brother at this company. I killed him. You know? And despite the fact that I lost everyone and I didn't want, and then him being the last person left, I chose myself over him. Where's the logic in that? right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And now here I am. I'm in my room all alone, wanting to talk to people, but as soon as I talk to someone, it just hurts more. And I don't understand. I don't understand. I hate it. I don't want to be a hypocrite. Okay? You just, yeah, you understand? I don't want to be a paradox anymore. I don't get it. And every night you just sit there just watching, and I don't know what you want from me. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be a hero. I'm not a fixer. I'm not a hero. I'm not gonna change the world. I want to be all alone. I want everybody to leave me alone. But at the same time, I want to be with people. And I don't understand. I want unconditional love, but I also want to disappear. I don't get it. I don't. And it's... You know, Briar has a purpose. He has a purpose. He has something he can work towards. And Merru can survive. And Kai has people he loves, and what do I have? What do I have? Why he chose me? Because I have nothing. That's a fucking... That's a... I don't even know what to do anymore. What the fuck do I do? I don't know what to do, but I'll tell you what I will do. I'll do the same thing I do every day. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna put on a smile and I'm gonna talk to everyone, and then we're just gonna leave, and then we'll go, and then I'll just act like nothing happened.
If it is affected at all by your emotions, it is impossible to tell. It just sits there, staring at you, looking down, almost unaffected, as if it's so used to seeing the mourning of the living and the mourning of those who death is creeping up upon.
I don't expect you to give me any kind of sympathy, no. Nobody. I don't expect it from anyone, honestly. I know what I am. I'm an Esper. Ever since I came here, it's all the same. It's all the same. I've always been alone. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Okay? I don't want to be alone anymore. I can't. I don't know what to do. Everybody who could understand me is gone. And the one person who liked me, I killed her. I fucking killed her.
Jessica. The wings flutter, and you just hear that name.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the one thing you're good for, isn't it? Twisting the fucking knife in my gut. Isn't that what you wanted? You just want to... That's what we're here for, right? That's why you asked me. I'm not a murderer, you know. It's not my fault. I'm not a murderer. I'm not. I'm not a murderer. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't. I released them from their suffering, right? That's what you told me, right?
The wings flutter, and you hear, it is not something to fear, though each of you do. It is a release from suffering. It does not matter if you come from the nests, nor does it matter those who come from the back streets. It does not matter if you have some grand purpose in life, like that one claims to, or if your only purpose is to survive, like the other does. It doesn't matter if you have all those that you love, like you claim that one other department head does, or if you're alone like you are. In the end, death takes all. It's a void, and it leaves you all without that station, without that purpose.
Okay. Right.
Would they mourn for you after you die? Will you mourn for them after they die?
I don't know if anybody will cry when I'm caught. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be alone. Please. Please. Just don't leave me. Please don't leave me. I'm scared. I'm scared.
It sits there. It doesn't leave, but you don't know if it's almost more lonely with it in the room there, with that large coffin.
I think that's the end of that scene.
Yep. The funeral of the dead butterflies stands watch over Miix. It won't leave you alone, but its presence doesn't fill the loneliness. And is there any other encounters Miix would like to have?
I think they just let the tears fall until they finally fall asleep.
after Miix falls asleep, the figure stands from the chair in which it's sitting, the hand extending from its neck, pats Miix on the head, and then it dissolves in a shower of white butterflies. And I suppose we go to the last one in the loop. Is there anything Prior still has to do before all of you are going to prepare to leave?
I think he's had a conversation with his clerks. He's had a conversation with his team. He's left reports behind. Every contingency accounted for, recounted for. He takes the elevator down to a floor that doesn't exist.
All right. Give me a moment. I'm not going to change the music back.
Walking along blood-stained corridors, he makes his way to stand before a familiar, rust-covered rise from the ground.
She's there.
Sorry. Seeing this place still, makes my gut churn a little bit, but if I was going to say goodbye, I didn't want it to be through a screen.
You humans are sentimental like that. I don't know the difference it makes.
Effort, I guess. I wanted you to know you were worth me coming down here to say it to you. You know, it doesn't really make a difference if I say it through a screen or not, besides the fact that, you know, going out of my way to do it takes time, effort. I hope it shows that I wanted to give that to you, that it was worth taking a little bit of time out of my very short, very limited life just to deliver the words to your face.
I don't know if I'll ever understand you. That time could have been spent being more productive elsewhere. But... And you can see those brows crease, that glint of yellow through the eyes. It is appreciated.
I know that you were going to be with her if you had succeeded. I don't think I've ever asked you. He pauses and lets her continue.
She looks as if she wanted you to finish first, if you would, but if you're waiting for her.
Yeah, he hesitates, and when she says that, he pushes forward. He's going to say, I might have been misinformed on what it meant, what you were doing. You said it was all for her. You said it was, you know, you said she was a part. She was the biggest part. She was the whole. I thought you'd return to her.
She smiles, but it's not that coy smile of hers, and it's not that genuine happy smile you've only seen a couple times. It's a strained smile. And she says, No. I would have ceased to exist. I wouldn't have known what became of her. I wouldn't have known what sort of life she lived, what life she's living now even. I simply would have delivered the energy and let her done with the light what she wished. My consciousness would be gone. My body, if you can call it that, would be no more. I'd be gone and buried, like the rest of the fragmented parts.
I don't know if I'd ever understand that. You know, if you cease to exist, that's time you can be productive elsewhere.
She stifles the laugh rising up inside her, and the smile turns from strain to wry as she said, "You still are as irritating as you always were, manager."
Unfortunately, you know, you hired me for that quality. You just didn't expect it to go both ways, did you?
I expected a man who would not care how many bodies he fed into the meat grinder. I expected a man who would get the job done and value efficiency over any misguided attempts at friendship or emotional connection.
It's what you would have done if you didn't have that damn skull in this facility.
I don't know whether I should be thankful or disappointed at its presence.
You know, after everything, if it was all for her, there's so much I could ask, but how much of it even matters? Do you want to know what happened to her? I mean, if we ever find out.
She hesitates, and you can see that she looks uncertain. And when she speaks, she says, "I don't know. I want to know if I succeeded, even if I failed, if the plan succeeded for her to be able to rise above this place, to fly above this place." I do not know who she has become. I don't even really know what she was like. I do not know if you'll ever cross paths with her.
I think with the evidence I have, I hope I don't. But if I do, I'll tell her you said hi.
I don't even know if she... Well, she certainly knows I exist, but I don't know if she even cares I exist. But even so, I would appreciate that.
When we get out of here, when we bring you to the surface, there's a spot I know in one of the districts. smoke is so heavy, you normally can't see anything. But there's an old factory where the generators misfire and it billows these galing winds into the sky. And if you're seated at just the right angle, you see a little bit of the sky between the clouds. I think you'd like it.
She is silent. She for once actually lowers her face so you can't even see the eyes closed. And is almost turned away from you, and you think that she may have been overcome for a moment with something that she's not supposed to have.
Maybe my life could be more productive if I was doing something else, Ange. But the truth is, I lived a life being productive, pursuing a goal above all other things, and it didn't make me happy. But if I can do this for you, if I can show you what the sky looks like beyond this place, if I can give you a chance that you never had, I don't care if I do it inefficiently. I just want you to know that I'll die up there before I leave you here to rot. You're not gonna be alone. We're gonna get you out of here. Even if we have to take on the wings, the head, and any abnormalities that are out there. We care about you. I care about you. So thanks for caring about us in return. Despite everything, you did it so that someone else could be happy. I want to pay that back to you. Do something for you so you can be happy.
She still has not turned to look at you. And when she speaks, she doesn't, even though you know she's always focused on those she talks to. You swear for a moment you hear a whispered, "Thank you." Even though one like her would rarely ever admit such weakness. And then, louder, she speaks and says, "Is that all, Manager?"
Goodbye, Ange.
I have one last order for you that comes straight from the top of the corporation, which I presume now would be me, given we've cut communications, or rather lost communications, with the main branch.
Pryor turns and he almost says, he turns and he smiles and he says, "Should I start capitalizing the A in Ange then?"
She laughs. She laughs at that. You can see like the hunched over form, because she's still not looking at you, almost shaking a little. Though she's not making any noise. But she says, "Yes, but in addition." Wait, you weren't already capitalizing it?
Well, per my last letter, if you were to reference the
She looks up. She looks up at you, and those eyes are fully open wide, and she says, "My final order before you all leave is to come back here alive."
Well, the punishment from disobeying an order from the head of the corporation is death, so I'd rather not die. It will be done.
Good.
I'll make sure of it. Well, head of the Lobotomy Corporation, district manager, wing manager, Ange, it has been an honor serving you, and I'll see you when I return.
She nods.
And as he goes back to the elevator, he turns over his shoulder. Ange joins one of 3 people he's ever said it to as he says, "Goodbye, old friend. See you later." And with a ding, the elevator closes, and Pryor takes... He expects to cry. He expects to feel a lot of things, and he does, but instead, his eyes kind of lid, and he gets this coy little smile on his face. He's got purpose. He has a new ambition. And he has a job to do.
And I suppose I should ask, is there anything else any of the department heads would like to do before we close out this session and begin with the 4 of you leaving out on your journey?
I think that covers everything for Pryor.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all set.
Yep.
All right. And so, four of you are gathered. Feel free to move yourselves around, but the 4 of you are gathered, are ready, have all your things packed, and the entrance has been excavated. It's open. The screen is flickered on, and Ange is there. All of the clerks and employees, aside from those who, had to go to work to prevent any clip-off meltdowns, are here to send you all off. And those great heavy doors to the outside world, to a place none of you have seen for quite some time now. The exact amount you're unsure of. They creak open. And that is where we'll end today's session, and we'll begin next time.